Good morning students. In the last class we started the chapter 6 control structures. Next we studied about the looping structure, isn't it? What are the two types of loop? Can you remember? The two types of loops are while loop and for loop. Okay. Then what is looping? Looping or iteration means what? The user can execute a block of code several times. Okay, multiple till the condition is satisfied. The condition will be executed again and again. That is repeated. Okay, that is looping. So in this looping there are two types. Okay. We studied looping two types. What are the two types? While, for loop. These are the two types of looping. Okay. Now next, which loop we studied? We studied about while loop. Okay. What is the syntax for while? Can you remember? While. Syntax for while. See what is syntax? While condition. Then last colon, then here statement block 1. So statement block 1. The next which part? Else part. Else colon, then statement block 2. Here else part is optional. So, up to this we can use, if we need else part, we can use it. This is the syntax for while. Okay. Next, we can study about the for loop. See, C++ also we studied for loop. For loop is very easy. Comparing other loops, for loop is easy. So, can you say how the syntax there for? Otherwise, you can say an example for I equal to 1 to n, like that. Okay. Now here in Python language, this for loop is a most comfortable loop. For loop is a most comfortable loop. For loop is the most comfortable loop. Then it is also known as entry check loop. Okay, in C++ we will study entry control loop. Here for loop is known as entry check loop. Okay, entry check. Okay, next when the condition is checked in the beginning, see, and the body of the loop is executed. So entry check loop means what is entry? What is the meaning of entry? When we are going to enter into the first initialization part. Okay. After entering into that particular program, we are checking. That means condition. This is the entry check loop. So the condition is checked in the beginning. Starting itself, the condition is checked, and the body of the loop is executed. After that, the body of the loop is executed. And if it is true, otherwise the loop will not be executed. Okay. When the body of the loop is executed, when the loop is true, when the condition is true, okay, it will execute the set of statements. Otherwise, it will not be executed. It will go to the next set of statements. So, for loop is the most comfortable loop. This for loop is also known as entry check loop. Okay. Then when the condition is checked, the condition is checked at the first beginning. The condition is checked at the beginning. Okay. When the body of the loop is executed, if it is true, otherwise it will not be executed. Okay. Now we can see the syntax for loop. For next counter variable. We have to use one variable that is known as counter variable. last colon. The next statement block. Statement block. Now like while loop, here also else part is there. Okay, else part is optional. So else statement block. Okay. Now this is a syntax for loop. Okay, very important loop in Python language. So for counter variable in sequence, statement block 1, else statement block 2. Okay. Now see here for first variable will be there. Okay. Then next it will be checked. Okay. Here in sequence means starting value, initialization value, ending value, everything will be in the sequence. Next, when this condition is true, it will execute the first set of statements. Otherwise, it will not execute. Okay, it will go to the next statements in the program. Can you understand? Now, here in for loop, another one important thing is here one function used is range function. What is the function used in this for loop? Range. Range function. Okay, this is used in for loop here in this sequence. Okay. Now here what the range will have means it has the initial value, final value and increment value. Initial value, final value and increment value. Okay. Now this range generate a list of values starting from the start to till start. Okay. This range function display list of values. Range function display list of values. Okay. Here it starts from the starting value and up to the ending value, but the ending value must be -1. So stop -1. The value will be degrees. Okay. It starts and ends stop at -1. Okay. Now we can see the one. See the syntax for range. See the syntax for range. So range, first start value, stop value, step value. Okay. Now start. Then one more thing is that step value. The step value will be -1. Okay. Now step. Sometimes this step value will be optional, so that it is given in the square bracket. So syntax for this is the syntax for range. Okay, range, start, stop, step. Start is the initial value. Okay, stop is the ending value. Step is the increment or decrement value. Okay. Now we can see one example for range. Range 2, 30, 2. See what is the starting value? 2 is the starting value. Which is the ending value? 30. Which is the step value? 2. Here step value means how much? Here I told -1. 1 by 1 it will be degrees. But here step value what the given here? 2. So it will be degrees as -2. Okay. So what will be the output for this is starting value 2, ending value 30, even number, last even number 28. This is the output. Like this the range will be executed. Okay. So range is a function used in for loop. Okay, can you understand? So now for loop, the syntax for loop is for counter variable in sequence, statement block 1. Else statement block 2. Else part is optional. Okay, else part is optional. Okay, next here for loop consists of a function known as range. What's the use of range? It will display the list of values from the starting value to the ending value 1. Okay. Now the syntax for range is range, start, stop and step. Here also this step is optional. Okay. Now like this we have to write the example. So here 2 is the starting value, 30 is the ending value, 2 is the step value. So we will get the answer 28. Okay. Now next we can see one small example using for loop. Example program to illustrate the use of for loop to print single digit number. Simple program to print a single digit number. Okay, program to print single digit number. This is the question. Okay. Now here we can use for loop. Okay. Single digit means from 2 to 10. Starting value 2 to 10. Single digit 2 to 10. Okay. Now we can use this for loop. See, from the syntax itself we can write the for loop. So for next one, counter variable. For counter variable we are using one variable. I am using here I. The next one is there in. Okay, counter variable. Then in. Then sequence. Sequence means which function? Range function. So here range. Inside this range we have to write the starting value, stop value and step value. Okay. Now here starting value 2, ending value 10. Then step value 2. Okay. So it will display the even numbers from 2 to 10. Okay. Now next we have to print. Print. We have to print the value of I. So I, comma, end. Then what parameter we are studying? For that we are using end. Next. Else. Else part if need we can give, otherwise it is optional. So here we can printing one message, end of the loop. End of the loop. So this is the example for loop. For I in range, starting value 2, 10 is the ending value, 2 is the step value. Okay. Now so it starts from 2 up to last which value? 10 or 8? 8 because here step value is 2. Okay. Minus 2. So it will be decreased 2 values. Then print I. See, starting value 2 means what is the value of I now? 2. Now starting value is 2. So what is the value of I now? 2. Okay. So which will be printed? 2 will be printed. I value. Output. So 2 will be printed. Again the I value will be increased. So how many values? I plus 2. I plus 2. So I value now 4. Okay. Now print I means the value 4 will be displayed. So the answer 4. Then again 2 increment. So how much increment? 2. So 6. Now what's the value? 6. So print the value of 5. So it will display the answer 6. The next again one more. So next 8. So the value of I is 8. So what will be the output? 2, 4, 6 and 8. Don't write up to 10. Always remember. Okay. So this is an important loop in Python programming language. Okay. For now without else, now next one part is here, isn't it? Else. If we are giving that correct answer, after this which will be displayed? End of the loop. Here first statement. Next what will be printed? End of the loop. Okay, can you understand? For this is about for loop. Next one more example we can write using for loop. See here, program to illustrate the use of string. How we can use string in for loop. Okay. In this way, the use of string in for loop. So for this also we are writing, straight away we can write the for loop. So say also for, here one counter variable using. For integer number we are using a single character. Here string means we can use one word. Okay, one variable name. The variable name I have taken here is bird. The next in. Next we have to give the string. Okay. Now I am giving computer science. The word I have given is computer science. Then we have to print. Which variable we have to give? Word. The computer science word is stored in which variable? Word. So we have to give word, comma, end equal to. Okay. Now else what if we need we can give, otherwise no need. Okay. Now what will be the output? What will be the output? The word is computer science. So print the variable word. So what is displayed here? Word, computer science. So what is the output? Computer science. Can you understand? Like this we can write simple examples using for loop. Okay. Next we can study nested loop structure. In function also we have studied nested function. Then if statement also we studied nested if. Now we are going to study nested loop. Okay. Nested loop means what? Already we have studied. Nested loop means a loop within another loop is known as nested loop. So what is nested loop? A loop within another loop is known as nested loop. Okay. So a loop consists of another inner loop also. Okay. So first the loop placed within another loop is known as nested loop. Loop means here two types of loops we have studied. What are they? While and for. Okay. Sometimes the for, the loop for can be within another for. Otherwise while within another while. Otherwise for within while. Otherwise while within for. Like that we can give the loops. Okay. So this is the nested loop. So a loop within another loop is known as nested loop. So a loop consists of for, loop consists of while. Okay. Otherwise a while consists of for. Otherwise for loop consists of for. This is for within while. This is here. This is while within for. This is for within for. Okay. Like that we can write while within while. So we can write like this. We can use the nested loop in this way. Okay. So a loop within another loop is known as nested loop. Now we can see one example. Program to use nested loop for within while loop. So now I am going to write an example that is for within while loop. Okay. Now see the program I am writing. This program is to print a pattern of values. The pattern of values is 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the pattern of the value. For this output we have to write the program. Okay. Now what is the starting value here? 1. What is the ending value here? 1. How many values are incremented? 1 value. Okay. So now I am writing while I less than or equal to 6. Next, for this is the, here some space I have given. This is the indentation. Okay, we must give. Okay, indentation must be given correctly. Then only we can get the output. Okay. Now for j, another one counter variable I will say. For j in range 1 comma I. Next we are printing the value of j. Print j. N equal to backslash t. Then again print n equal to backslash n. Next I plus equal to 1. Okay, this is the simple example. See what's the initialization value, starting value 1. So we are given 1 in a variable I. So this is the control variable used in while loop. Now first while loop. See next what, which loop? For. So while loop within for. So this is a nested loop. Okay. Now while I less than 6. Okay. Now next look for another one counter variable for j equal to, because it consists of rows and columns. So for row 1 counter variable, for column 1 counter variable. So for j in range we have to print the first value 1 comma I. 1 comma I. We need always 1. The next always we need 2. Next always we need 3, like that. Okay. So next we are printing the value of j. J will be printed. Why I am giving the parameter n equal to backslash t. Already we studied in the last class. End. 2 parameters are there. What are the 2 parameters? End and sep. End and sep are the 2 parameters. For this end we are using, for which purpose we are using the end parameter? For the escape sequence. Escape sequence consists of a slash followed, a character followed by slash. A character, alphabetic character followed by backslash. That is the escape sequence. So this one end parameter means escape sequence. Separator means special characters. Separator means special character. Dollar symbol, ampersand symbol, comma, semicolon, like that special characters we can give it separate. Okay. Now only one parameter we are using here, that is n. What is the use of backslash t? Backslash t means it will leave how many spaces? 5 spaces horizontally and it will put in the next value. Okay. So see here between 1 and 2 there is some space. Okay. For this space only we are giving this backslash t. Then next print n equal to another one escape sequence backslash n. What is the backslash n here? The control goes to the next line. That means new line. So after printing one line, it goes to the next line. Okay, that is backslash n. The next is I plus equal to 1. I plus equal to 1. I is the control variable here in while loop. Next incremented value 1. Plus equal to already we have studied in the 5th lesson. Which operator this is? Only equal to means plus assignment operator. Combined with the mathematical function means that is plus equal to. These are the assignment operators. So I plus equal to 1 means the I value of 1. The value of I will be incremented by 1. So this is same as I equal to I plus 1. So I equal to I plus 1 is written as I plus equal to 1. Okay. For this we can get this output. See first value is I. So while I less than 6. So what will be the execution? 1 less than 6. 1 less than 6. So that is true. Okay. Now next for j in range 1. J, what is the starting value here? 1. J value also 1, comma I. So 1 comma I value already 1. I value 1, J value 1. So 1 comma 1. 1 comma 1. And that 1 comma 1 which will be printed? J value will be printed. What is the value of J? 1. So the value 1 will be printed. Okay, displayed like this. Okay. Next, what happens to backslash t? The next goes to the next line. Now I value incremented by 1. Already I value what? 1. Again it 1, comma, what is the value here? I value 2. So 1, comma, the value is 2. Now j value will be printed. So what is the j value? 1, comma, 2. Okay, 1, comma, 2. So second value will be printed. So 1 and 2. Here there is a space. So that we are giving this backslash. Okay. Now again I value change. So I value now 3. Okay. Now here j value 1, 2, 3. Comma will not come. J value 1, 2, 3. So the value 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now again the I value change 4. So here one more value 5. Again last the I value change, that is 5. So print the value 5. So this pattern will be printed. Okay. This is the example using nested loop. Can you understand? Okay, like this many types of patterns we can display using the nested loop. So what is nested loop? The nested loop means a loop within another loop is known as nested loop. Okay. Now we can see the next one, that is jump statements in Python. Jump statements in Python. See, already we know in C++ we studied break statement, continue statement we studied, isn't it? Here these break statement and the continue statement, these are named as jump statements. Okay. Here in jump statement means unconditionally transfer of a control from one part of a program to another part. So if you are giving break or continue or one more jump statement is there, they are paused. If we are giving this break continue, the control will pass from one part of the program to another part. Already we know, isn't it? So here in jump statement also unconditionally a transfer of control from one part of a program to another part of a program. That is jump statements. There are 3 types of jump statements. They are break, break, continue and pass. How many types of jump statements? 3. What are they? Break, continue and pass. Here break and continue already we studied, isn't it? All of us know break. What is break? Break statement, can you say? What is break? What is the use of break? What the break statements will do? It terminates the loop. So in between the loop we are using the jump statement break. Same as break we are using continue. Okay, break statement means it will terminate the loop. Continue means it will terminate the, it will continue the loop. Okay, so these are the 2 difference. So break statements terminate the loop contained in it. Terminates the loop. Terminate means what? It stops the loop. The next one, the control of a program flow to a statement immediately after the body of the loop. Okay, so body of this break statements, the control of the program flows to the statement immediately after the body of the loop. So after terminating the particular loop, it goes to the next statement after the loop. Okay, after the loop, it will go to the next statement. That is the use of break. Then if while or for loop will iterate, till the condition is tested false, but can transfer the control out of the loop within the help of the break statement. Okay. So when the break statement is executed, the control flows, the program comes out of the loop. Okay. When the break statement is executed, the control flow of the program comes out of the loop and start executing the segment of the code after the loop structure. Okay. Now, for example, I will break the statements inside the for loop and it goes outside the for loop and execute the statements in the program. Okay, that is about break. Now, so first when we give the break statement, it will terminate the inner loop first. Okay, it will terminate if 2 or 3 loops are there, first it will terminate the inner loop, most inner loop. Next loop, next last loop. Okay, this is about break. Now we can see one example for break. Program to illustrate the break statement. See one example I will for bird in jump statement if bird equal to E break, otherwise print bird comma end equal to. See, this is the example. See this example. Here one string we use one string. What is the string? Jump statement. Okay. So for this string, what is the variable used? Bird. W-O-R-D, this word. Now this loop, a loop within another if statement. Okay. Like this also we can do. So this is the outer loop. This is the inner loop. Here I am checking one word. If bird equal to E. If bird double equal to comparative operator, relative operator. So double equal to E. E means break. Okay. If bird equal to E means we have to break this if statement and it goes to the next. Next what? Print bird. So up to E it will be stop. Okay. So what will be the output? If bird equal to E, first word, see the first word, J. So it is not true, false. So it goes to the next word. This is also false. So it goes to the next word. This is also false. Again, this is also false. Then again, this is also false. Like that up to E. When this program is executed, when the character E comes here, the execution will be stopped. Okay. Now the output will be, output is jump state. It comes E means the program will be, the execution will be stopped. So what is the output? Jump state. S-T-A-T. Okay. This is break. Now can you understand? So break will terminate. Okay. Next we can see about continue. Okay. So break, you can understand, break will breaks the loop here and it pass on to the next one. Okay, again and again this loop will not be executed. One time executed, so at the last up to E, the condition here up to E means the condition becomes false, means it will be go to the next step. Now this is about break. Next we can see continue. Continue means this statement is used to skip the remaining part of the loop and start with the next iteration. Okay, if we are giving continue here, it will skip the loop and it will iterate the next loop. It will start execution of the next iteration. Okay, now for the same example, we can write continue also. So instead of break, I am writing here continue. Continue means what happen? If bird equal to E, if bird equal to E means continue. Continue means it will continue with us. Here it will not stop. Okay. So again it will continue. Up to the last. It will not stop here. Break means up to E it will stop here and it goes to the next. Okay. Continue means the looping execution will not stop here. It will continue the execution. So the output will be jump statement. So the output is jump statement. Can you understand the difference between break and continue? Break means it terminates the loop and pass on to the next statement. It will not execute again. Okay, up to that condition it will execute. Okay, again after this condition it will not execute. But continue means after the condition also whether it is true or false, it will continue the next set of statements. Okay, that is continue. Okay, this is about break and continue. The next one is pause statement. Pause, PASS, pause statement. This pause statement is a null statement. Pause statement is a null. Before that you see break and continue. What the syntax means? Syntax for break, only break. Okay. Syntax for continue, only continue. Like that, syntax for pause, only pause. PASS. These are the syntax. Okay. See now this pause statement is the null statement. Null statement means what? It has no values. Okay, null statement means it has no values. So this pause statement, when this statement is executed, it is completely ignored. It is completely ignored. If I am giving pause here, what happens? There is null value, null statement. So it will ignore all the statements. It will ignore all the statements. That is pause. Break will terminate, continue will skip the loop and continue the next statements. Pause means it is a null statement. Then when this statement is executed, it is completely ignored. Okay, what is the syntax for pause? Pause, PASS. Now, the statement used in the if class, if we do not want to any statement or command within the block, pause statement is executed. See, I am giving one example here. A equal to integer input enter any number. If A equal to 0, pass. If you are playing on music means if you are pausing that pause, we are pressing that pause button means what happens? Time it will stop that music. Okay, like that here pause means what? It is ignored. This statement is completely ignored. Okay, so if here see in the variable A, I have given one message enter any number. So for A we have to give a number. If that A equal to 0, that A value equals 0 means what happens? Pause. So the loop will be stopped here. So if we do not want any statement or command within the block, pause statement is executed. So within the block we no need to give any statement means we can give only pause. Okay, inside the loop, if we no need to give any statements or set of statements, we have to give the jump statement pause. Okay, so the jump statements are break, continue and pause. So these three, what is the use of these three jump statement? It will jump from one part of the program to the next part. Okay, one part of the program to the next part. Okay, now in this lesson we studied about looping, isn't it? We have studied looping. Okay, so while loop and for loop, two important loops, which is is the most comfortable loop? Forward. Okay. Now, next we study nested loop. What is nested loop? The nested loop is loop within another loop, that is known as nested loop. Then next we pass on to jump statements in Python. What are the jump statements? Break, continue, pass. Break means it will terminate the loop. Continue means it will skip the loop and it will continue the next set of statements. Pass means it is a null statement. So which is the null statement in Python programming language? Which is that? Pass is the null statement in Python programming language. See, using, so normally you can say this pass is a placeholder. Pass is a placeholder. Using for loop, we can give one example. For where in computer. Next I am giving the jump statement pass. Okay. Next, one more, next set of statement is there. Print end of the loop structure. See, for loop, what is the variable is here? Where. What is the value for this variable? Computer. Now, next which jump statement we use here? Pass. Next is print. Print which string is printed here, displayed here, end of the loop structure. So, if inside the loop, if we no need to give any statements, we are using the pass. So, pass statement. So, it goes to the next. So, what will be the output here? Only end of the loop structure. Okay. Now, can you understand about this three jump statements? What are the three jump statements? Break, continue and pass. Now, some evaluation questions I am giving. You try to study. First question, what is control structure? The next one, write a note on break and continue. The next one, explain for loop. Next, already in today's class, I have given one program using while statement, one pattern. That pattern 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Like this, you can write another one pattern. Write a program using for loop for the following pattern. A, these are the evaluation questions. Students, you please note down the questions and you start to study. You try to write this pattern program also. Next class, we can see in the next class. Okay, thank you.